since the whole situation has changed, obviously we can't go out, obviously we can't do the things that we're used to doing and the things that we've like grown up and known that makes us happy. At least what I've been doing is I've been finding other things that I don't know, wait, let me rephrase that. I've been finding things that I didn't know made me happy. So kind of just like evolving, and with like the changing environment, changing your mindset to be able to adapt and cope and figure out what keeps you going and what you could see as a source of happiness if it's not the same thing as it was, just changing it a little bit.
I don't know. I think just thinking about the positives in this situation is the best we can do, because so much of our news is surrounded by so much negative, and so it's hard to kind of find those little lights and those positive things that are going on. So definitely, like, if you are in a bad situation, just trying to pull out what you have. If you're with your family and you don't really get to spend a lot of time with your family, my sister's back from university, so I get to spend more time with her. And so small things like that, and just kind of enjoying what you do have, and what, if you're able to even live at home and survive like that, it's such a great, like, I'm so grateful that I can be able to do that during this situation. So just not taking anything for granted. I would just make sure to put that out. Yeah.
I think this is helping us like appreciate when we're free, like to go outside, because like we're stuck at home the whole day and we're like, oh, I want to go outside, I want to go outside. When most of the time before this, we used to be like, oh no, I don't want to go outside. And now we kind of appreciate that we were able to, and we will be able to when this stops. So next time, like when we go outside, it's gonna be different. It's gonna feel way different, and it's gonna be like a good thing.
It is gonna be. I agree. It is gonna be a great feeling when we can go outside and enjoy nature. I know.
Like, people just have to understand that, like, this quarantine isn't gonna be forever, and like the situation they're in isn't always gonna be forever. It may seem tough while it's happening, but like, just think about like this. Just think about it like this. Like, you're not always gonna be stuck in the same situation. One day, your life may change 180 degrees, and you might start living a very happy, positive life. It may not always be like that, but like, just know your situation is always gonna change, and it's never gonna be the same. So just try to keep the future in mind, and try to keep in mind that like you'll like this is gonna end at a certain point. It's not always gonna be like this.
We're gonna go through this, and we're gonna go through it together. So to be safe, like, I don't want to say don't go outside, but just like be like aware of your surroundings, I guess, and have a good time with your family, because that right now to me seems important, to like be with your family, have those moments that you didn't have with them before now.
Okay, I guess try to look at the positive aspects of it and build on those, I think.
Yes.
Would be my because I mean, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to look at like the good parts of it, even though it's kind of tough.
But I think we just have to stay strong and stay positive. I think if we just follow what everyone tells us to do and like actually take care of ourselves and people around us, that if we do that, this might be over soon, and we just have to find things that can change our mindsets to be more positive, because I believe that everything happens for a reason. Whether we like it or not, it's always going to be something that will help our lives.
I think most of the time people only think about themselves, like what benefits them, and this has really shown that like the actions of one person really have the ability to impact all of us. So I think that's really something you have to learn, to think about the whole and not just about yourself. And also I think um it's, well, for the future we have to learn how to be I mean, there's no way we could have known what was coming, but for the future, if something like this ever happens, I think that the world will be better prepared.
I would say to kind of be more aware of what's going on around. Not only trust social media, to not be selfish. That's selfish.
I think it's important to understand that like we all go through different things, and it's important to help each other through tough times like this. Like that girl that you talked to, her community helping each other, like that's an important skill to have, and we should definitely develop that all over. Um, Even in communities where it may seem like people aren't going through much, like it's important to like just have sympathy and understand they might be going through something. They're just not gonna like present it to you.
So take this as an opportunity to reset and change the way that we measure economic growth and change the way we, you know, treat like our home, because, you know, as you said, Mother Nature needed a break, but that break needs to be a break up. It can't be a break. Like you gotta separate. Like this is like a new era, or it should be. You know.
I think all of us just be together and just tell everyone that we can do that together. If we all follow the rules, if we just do what all those that we keep telling, that people keep telling us, that we definitely follow it, and just try to not get tired of it, just to be motivated all the time, and just to stay happy and stay just keep your mind really positive, you know.
My message would be that just people need to change. They don't need a pandemic for them to show them that they need to change.
How do you think people need to change?
Yeah, as I said, they don't need to take things granted until they know what is actually the meaning of having those things. Like, if people are getting the thing that they get the freedom of traveling outside, they'll know that what is the importance of actually keeping the gardens clean. There are some public dustbins that have been, what do I call it? There is garbage around it instead of being garbage inside it.
As a lesson for us is that we need to just take it easy in life. Take it easy in life and settle down. Sometimes people need downtime, need to rest, and then get back up. People were just quick and moving.
Going. Yep.
Making too many decisions so fast, right? So I just think that this is the time that we need to learn to take the downtime, take vacation even, and think about your next move. Think about what you're doing in life.
Would it be? I would probably tell them to like try to keep your family safe and to check up on your friends, because recently I found out that my friend's family caught the virus, but just like try to make sure that everybody in your life is okay.
For me, I'd say to like stay connected to your friends to see if they're like okay and stuff, and your family, like others who live away and not like near you.
Yes, check up on your friends, because there's nothing really that you could do. So let's just check up on them every once in a while, especially the elders or the ones that have medical conditions and stuff like that.
For me, I'll say to like look for the good part in this, because like eventually it's all gonna be over and everything's gonna be fine again. But like in the meanwhile, like go like talk to new people like you didn't talk to before, or like find a new hobby like to do when you're home and like to keep you occupied and stuff. And then yeah.
Message would be like before we like, so many teenagers they don't care about family and this stuff, and so many of them they have so many problems of being with their families for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Just my message is making connections with like people who are close to you first, and then make connections with others. Because for me, I didn't care about the family when I was in Morocco. Like just came from school, like put the backpack everywhere in the home and go with my friends out. At night I just like go in and do homework. Sometimes I don't talk to them either. But now like when we came here, when I didn't have like so many people to talk, like my relationship with them now is so good, especially with my parents. My brother, he's so young, he don't know nothing, but like it's I can't imagine how I was treating them before, and now I can't like imagine my life without them just for 1 week.
Yeah. Do you think your mentality has changed from the moment we began quarantine until now?
I would definitely say it has. I think before everything, I felt like I don't want to say I was rushed, but everything was just kind of something after another, and
Mm.
that's how it was, and I was so used to it. So I think when this started, it kind of made me pause, and I think that would not have happened if wouldn't have happened. So I think that kind of gave me time to kind of reflect on everything that I had going on, and just kind of set my priorities straight and realize.
I mean, I think that is really a really difficult situation. But I think the only advice I would have is try and find something that kind of separates you and what you can really feel passionate about. I know that's hard in your own home, but like for me, I've gone really into fitness as well. And so I've been doing a lot of home workouts, and that's something I do by myself in my room. It's kind of secluded, and whatever I'm feeling, I just pound that workout. And I think honestly, it really makes me feel better. And, even though you might not be able to change your home life, like this is something that not only physically benefits you, but I think it's really emotionally supportive if you just, really try your best at it, and you can kind of just get all your emotions out doing that in a healthy way. That's really beneficial for you. And also just kind of, I guess, try and find a safe place that if you can in your own house, if that's, doing exercise like I just suggested, or even like what I do, call a friend. I think that's it's really important for you to have ways to escape within your own house. So.
Pues yo les recomiendo a ellos que, o sea, que ahora en este momento ellas se pongan a leer libros, a leer documentos y cosas así, para que se le abra más la mente, para que se pueda escapar de la realidad.
To those, because I used to be in that situation myself, actually, it'll get better with time. It's very cliche to say, time will heal wounds, right? You probably heard that a lot. But yeah. It's very cliche, but it's true, give it time, try to live with it. I wouldn't say try to live with it, but, over time, things will happen, situations will pop up, and it'll get better over time. Just let time work it out, let the situation happen, and hopefully in the future, and eventually in the future, it'll get better.
I think that they should know that they aren't like alone, and that I'm sure all of their friends are going through the same thing, and that there's a lot of resources for them to talk to, whether it's like friends or like someone that they know, like an adult person or adult figure, that like there's always someone that you can talk to.
There was this thing at the pharmacies here where people that were suffering domestic violence could go to the pharmacy and say like these words that were mask 19 but in Portuguese, which was like COVID-19 but with mask, and the people at the pharmacy would immediately know what they were talking about, which I think is super good and super smart. And
wow, that is so smart, because then you don't have to say too much.
Say it, because you're probably scared of saying it. I mean, I think people that go through it, which is horrible, but I think it's such a great way to try to deal with it and try to help people, because people that can't leave their house and that are suffering all those horrible, horrible things, at least they have a way of contacting other people.
I agree.
And just saying what they're going through, but really like much more easily, I feel like.
And my dad, he's the he's like the leader of the house, like traditionally leader of the house. So he would go like look up news about the current event and be like, okay, what is the situation now in New York? What's the situation now in Chicago? Or like stuff like that. And he would share it to us and be like, okay, we have to take these safety measures and this is how we're gonna live through this. We're gonna do this together. Like, yeah, he gives us all those good advices and sort of tells us, even though the world is at risk, we might still live through this together and healthy and strong, just like we were before the pandemic started.